Our speaker today is Tim Strachan, a 1994 graduate from DeMatha Catholic High School and 2010 Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame inductee. Tim was a two-sport athlete in the early 90s, where he played both football and basketball. It was in his football ability where Tim found national recognition as one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the country in 1993, and where he would set his sights for the future. However, 1 week before his senior season ever began at DeMatha, Tim suffered a spinal cord injury in a diving accident that rendered him paralyzed as a quadriplegic. Since then, Tim has transferred everything it took to be a top-notch quarterback into setting his sights for a life outside of football, one that posed new challenges as a person with a disability in the game of life. He graduated with honors and went on to the University of Maryland to earn a degree in the art of rhetoric from the Department of Communication. He also served as a student assistant football coach for 4 years for the Terps, but you might know him better as the color analyst for Maryland football games on the Maryland Sports Radio Network, the last 18 years alongside with the voice of the Terps, Johnny Holliday. During that time, Tim went on to earn his JD degree from Georgetown University Law Center and became a member of the Maryland Bar in 2004. He was counsel for the United States Senate Committee for the Judiciary for 4 years and currently is an attorney advisor with the Federal Communications Commission, Office of Legislative Affairs. However, Tim's main passion is professional motivational speaking, where he lends insight on how to overcome adversity and continue to succeed. As he puts it, I'm not here to say, be like me, but to help you realize how to be the best you can be. Thus, I would like to introduce the 1999 Washingtonian of the Year and 2010 DeMatha Hall of Fame Distinguished Alum to share with the graduating class of 2014 his X's and O's of life. Graduates of 2014, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Strachan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, faculty and staff. Father Damien. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
After 34 years, you got this down. It's pretty good. And you read the introduction I wrote for you very well. Good morning, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, friends. But most importantly, good morning and congratulations to the St. John DeMatha graduating class of 2014. It's an absolute honor to be here on so many different levels. It's an honor because 20 years ago, I was sitting right where you are. Actually, I brought my own seat because I was in a wheelchair, but you get it. I sat in this room. I remember the sights, the sounds, the smells, the feelings, this beautiful shrine, the faces in the crowd. Ironically enough, I don't remember our graduation speaker. I know he was a president of the Catholic University, but I purposely didn't look him up, and I'll explain that in a minute. What I do remember, ironically, though, as well, something I'll never forget, is when John Moylan was actually handing me my diploma, the little plaque or whatever it is that you get today, I was peeing. That's a joke. I was actually peeing when John Moylan handed me the crazy memories you remember. But it was a wonderful day. Yeah, no, you can laugh. It's fine. I'm not the first person to be peeing when he gets his diploma either. Might be one of you. But it's a wonderful day, and I'm also honored because of how important this institution is to me. How much respect I have for this institution and the things it did for me to help me get to where I am today. I'm honored as well because just the sheer fact that Dan McMahon decided to ask me to be the speaker. It's not often that you get asked to come back to your alma mater and give the speech at graduation. And Dan, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Really do. But some of you may know, I think a lot of you do, maybe some of you don't, I was not the first choice to be your speaker today. And as Father Damien read so well, I have been working with Johnny Holiday for the last 18 years. 15 years I've been his sidekick on the sidelines. The last 3 years I've been his sidekick up in the booth as the main color commentator. But for 18 years I've also kind of been his backup. Every speech or master of ceremonies gig that he's not able to do because he doesn't want to, or he's done it before, or they don't pay him enough money, or simply because his schedule will not allow. He always says, I can't do it, but call Tim Strachan, he'll do it. For 18 years I've been his backup. Well, you were supposed to have Father Cardinal Wuerl as your speaker today. So I'm honored because I've actually gotten a promotion. Instead of being Johnny Holiday's backup, I'm now the backup to the Cardinal. Next time Johnny calls, I'll probably never be a backup to the Cardinal ever again in my life for any reason. But next time Johnny calls me to do a gig for him, I can say I have to check the Cardinal schedule first. If you listen to us on the radio, you do know I try to find every opportunity to knock Johnny down a peg. But no, that's, in all seriousness, why am I here? When Dan asked me to be the speaker, I asked myself that question. What is the role of the speaker? Now, I'm not going to say anything today that is so novel and so profound that you're going to leave here with the secret to life. You're not going to leave with the secret to success. You're not going to leave with that golden nugget that we've all been looking for and hoping for. No. I think that my role, really and truly, because I did sit out there, just like you did 20 years ago, is I'm supposed to be an example for you, an example that I was once where you are, and at least somebody thinks I'm important enough or worthy enough to be addressing you on this important day, and that you guys have the knowledge, the fundamentals, the tools, and the faith to be successful. As an ex-athlete, I approach life in the same way that I approach sports. When things get tough, or if you want to be good at anything and you want to overcome challenges and adversities, because there will be some ahead of you, you have to master the fundamentals. And not all athletes are going to win every game or win every championship. But if you master the fundamentals of your sport, you're eventually going to become successful. And the same goes for life. You have to master the fundamentals. They're going to allow you to be successful in life. The Rolling Stones once said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Now, many of you might know exactly what you want to do. Some of you might have an idea. Some of you might not have a clue, and that's okay. But I do think that most of you, if not all of you, are scared or a little concerned about where it is you're going, where you'll end up, and how you will get there. And that's fine too. But again, my role today, in this moment, in this time, because many of you might not even remember that I was your speaker, But at least today, in this moment, and for a little while, I can give you the confidence and maybe the inspiration for you to know that you can get it done. You see, I had a goal and a dream when I was 5 years old, and that was to play college football. It's all I ever wanted to do. And I did everything it took to try and make that dream come true. When I was 17 years old, just after my junior year, that dream was unfolding right before my eyes. According to Coach McGregor, my coach at the time, he said I could have gone to just about any college I wanted to in the country to play football. I walked out of school once a week with a trash bag full of letters from schools asking me to come play for them. What's crazy is that 20 years ago, when I was in high school, there was no internet. There was no Rivals.com. There was no 247sports.com. My kids are going to think that's crazy. I didn't even have internet in high school. But we had actual publications. I was ranked as one of the top 5 quarterbacks in some of the publications, Street and Smith, USA Today, Tom Lemming. One of the top 5 quarterbacks in the nation, along the likes of Peyton Manning, the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback of the Denver Broncos today. My dream was coming true. I was seeing it happen. And then on August 5th, 1993, I was on vacation with my family. I was just one of those days. I took a 2-mile run. I played a little bit of basketball. I played some volleyball on the beach later in the afternoon, wanted to cool off in the ocean, put my stuff on the blanket, told my family to be right back, ran to the ocean. Water got about waist deep. A wave came. I dove in the water. My head hit the ground. I broke my neck, and I became instantly paralyzed. Prior to my senior year, I'd already received scholarship offers to schools. That was a very early practice at the time. It didn't happen very often. It's needless to say that I didn't get what I wanted that day. And through 5 months of grueling therapy and sitting in the hospital, I had to find a way to overcome this adversity. I find a way to get on with my life, find new dreams, find new goals, find new things I wanted to accomplish. And so I had to rely on the fundamentals of life. The first fundamental that I relied upon was attitude and the importance of a positive attitude. Attitude is so important in everything that we do. In sports, it dictates how we're going to play. In school, it dictates our performance. It's no different in life. Our attitude is the thing that's going to allow us that initial step, that initial direction towards success. I heard a woman speak one time by the name of Heather Whitestone. She was a former Miss America. She was also deaf. And she said something that I'll never forget. She said that we are all handicapped, every single one of us, because we are capable of negative thinking. Once you say you cannot do something, the chances are you will not be able to get it done. Giving yourself that optimism that you can do it, that you can be successful, that you can go after anything that you want, is one of the greatest attributes that you can have. Now, have you ever met somebody who's positive all the time, every single time you meet them? They're annoying. It's almost impossible to be positive all the time. But the point is to try, to give yourself that extra edge. Because again, you are equipped with everything it takes. Trust me, I know. From going through this institution, you're equipped with everything it takes to be successful. Give yourself that extra edge. Approach everything. School, life, sports, friends, family, with a great attitude. 10% of life is what actually happens to you, and 90% is how you deal with it. It took a split second for my entire life to change, but I have the rest of my life to deal with that. And there's no better way to do that than with a positive attitude. The second fundamental I had to rely upon is something that I actually call my half and half principle. I believe that half of my life is in my hands and that half of my life is in God's hands. Let me start with the half of my life that is in my hands. I told you I had a dream when I was 5 to play football, college football. And I speak to kids all the time, and I ask them to raise their hands and what do you think my dreams and my goals are today? And I always, at the end of it, get at least 2 answers. 2 answers are always brought up. One is to walk again, and one is to play football again. And I say both of them are my goals, for sure. But my dream, still to this day, as I sit in a wheelchair in front of you, is to play football again. Because it's something I want so bad that I will do whatever it takes to make it happen. The fundamental is hard work. You wouldn't be sitting in these seats today if you didn't know what hard work is. But it's only going to get harder. And to have that hard work, that attitude, is going to be so important for your next step in your journey. Now, I'm a lawyer. I read all the time, and I hate reading. I don't know why I became a lawyer. But when I do take the time to read for leisure, I try to read about people in the history that are inspirations, that are motivators. And one of the people I love to read about the most is Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest football coaches of all time. There was something about Vince Lombardi. People think that he was too caught up in winning, too caught up in being number one. And in fact, he actually did say that once, but I heard later that he regretted saying that. But there's a quote of Vince Lombardi that I think really captures who he was as a person. And that quote is when he said, "The man's finest hour, the one to all he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart out in a good cause and lies exhausted on the field of battle, victorious." What that tells me about Vince Lombardi is that he was more upset with a team that won a game, but he knew they didn't give it everything they had, than he was with a team that actually lost a game, but he knew they gave it everything they had, because the guys that gave it everything they had were eventually going to become champions. Those were the guys he wanted on his team, because he knew those were the guys that were going to do whatever it took to become successful. Now, I still have this dream. You still have to do a lot of other things that are involved. I have other goals and dreams, short-term, long-term, mid-term goals that I set for myself, and I encourage you to do so for yourself. Again, you wouldn't be sitting in there if you didn't have that attribute. And who knows what's going to happen in the end? Maybe I'll be able to be a little bit more independent than I am right now. Just the graduates, raise your hand if you dressed yourself today. There's a few not raising their hands. That's weird. That's weird. I haven't dressed myself in 20 years. But maybe, because I have this dream and I'm going after, I'm doing whatever I can, maybe I'll be able to do some things for myself I haven't been able to do for myself before. Maybe I'll be able to walk again. Or maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to play football again. Will it be at the college level? No, because my eligibility's up. Won't be at the NFL level. That's the best of the best. But maybe it's teaching my little girls how to play, teaching some other kids how to play, being out on a football field, just being a part of it. Or maybe, just maybe, if I can throw the pigskin one more time, I'll have reached my dream. But at the age of 38, I look back on my life, and I actually have amazed myself at what I have been able to accomplish simply because I have a dream, and I went after it, and I worked hard, and I did all the things that I felt I needed to do to get to where I am. And never in a million years did I think, after having my accident back in high school, that I would graduate high school on time with honors. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be able to go to the University of Maryland and be a student assistant football coach for 4 years. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be able to graduate from Maryland with honors. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be able to go on to law school at Georgetown University and earn my law degree. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be able to pass the bar on my first try. Never in a million years did I think that I would be doing sideline and color commentary up with Johnny Holiday in the booth for 18 years. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be able to get my first job out of law school with the Senate Judiciary Committee. Never in a million years did I think I'd be in my current position as an attorney with the Federal Communications Commission. Never in a million years did I think that I'd marry my high school sweetheart and have two beautiful little girls, Sophie and Olivia. Never in a million years did I think that I was going to be able to sit in front of a group of people like this and share my story. All these things I've been able to accomplish because I simply had a dream, and I went after it. And I encourage you to have your own goals and dreams, and to do whatever it takes to make them come true. But who knows in the end, whether you make it or not, doesn't matter. Because if you do that, you will find out you are where you need to be, and you will be successful, I promise you. But the other half of this is that you're not able to do it all on your own. The other half of my half and half principle is that half of my life is in God's hands. No matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I believe that God is with me. And when I need Him most, He will be there. And I can remember one night in the hospital. It was late, I was alone, it was dark, and I was scared. And I started to ask God for the first time in my life, why me? But before I actually asked the question, I stopped. And I had this overwhelming feeling that it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair because for 17 years prior to that night, I had never asked God why my life was so good. I just had this overwhelming feeling it wasn't fair because right when things started to break down, I started to almost wonder and question Him. And then immediately I started to do something that I encourage every one of you to do at some point when you have a quiet moment. Is I started to make two lists. One list was a list of things that I had to be thankful for. And the other list was a list of things that I was not thankful for. And I guarantee you, when you're done with your list, just as I was, the things that I had to be thankful for completely outweighed those things that I didn't. And all of a sudden, not being able to walk or not being able to play football were insignificant. This institution has instilled in you, whether you believe it, know it, feel it, they have instilled a deep faith in you. And whether you know it now or not, when you need it most, it'll be there. The past is history. The future is a mystery. And right now is a gift. That's why it's called the present. You can't go back and change the past, for it's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. You can have plans and dreams and goals for the future, but there is an unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. Today is your most important day. Right now is your most important moment. And what we do with today in this moment is our gift back to God for giving it to us. Give it everything you have. Believe in Him, and you'll be okay. And the third fundamental that I had to rely upon was something very simple. It's to learn to enjoy life, no matter what. I have a saying in my room written by Robert J. Hastings called The Station. It's long, so I won't recite it to you, but essentially what it is it says that life is like a train ride. And while we're on this ride of life, we're looking out the windows and watching everything pass us by as we're trying to get to the next station. What are the stations of life? Well, graduation from high school, graduating from college, going on to postgraduate school, getting your first job, buying your first home, putting your first mortgage payment down, getting married, having kids, changing jobs, buying a Beamer or Mercedes, paying off your mortgage, retirement. These are the stations of life. But the point of the station is this. Once you get to the next station, you're on to the next station, and then you're on to the next, and you're on to the next. And at some point, we'll look back and wonder where it all went, because it flies by. Trust me. Again, it was 20 years ago I was sitting there. I want to say it feels like 10. Maybe I just wish it was 10. But it goes fast. And I know you guys feel like your freshman year was just like yesterday. The point of the station is this. Don't get caught up into where you're going. Enjoy your journey there. Enjoy each day of your life. Do the best you can to make the most of it. No matter what. No matter how hard it gets. It says, Psalm 118:24, "This is the day which the Lord hath made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it." Rejoice in this day. You deserve it. This is a wonderful achievement for you, and you have a lot more ahead of you. Enjoy them. And as just a little thing, a little side note to this, and I swear Tom Ponton did not put me up to this. Remember where you came from. Remember how wonderful this institution is. When you're gone, don't just go away. Come back. If you can give money, time, just check in. Remember where you came from, because this institution did so much to help you get to where you are, and trust me, you're going to realize they did a whole lot to get you where you're going. Remember that. Don't let anything get in the way of you enjoying your journey and enjoying your life. I haven't, and I never will. I want to finish with just two sayings that really captures what I've talked about here today. The first is a poem with no author and no title, and it goes like this. Believe in yourself and in your plans. Believe in yourself and in your dreams. Though impossible things may seem, someday, somehow, you'll get through to the goals you have in view. Mountains fall and seas divide in front of the one who in their stride takes the hard road day by day, sweeping obstacles away. Believe in yourself and in your plan. Say not I cannot, but I can. The prizes in life we fail to win because we doubt the power within. It says make goals and dreams for yourself. Challenge yourself and take the hard road. The more risk, the bigger the reward. But never say I can't. Always give yourself that ability, because, trust me, you do have the knowledge, the fundamentals, the tools, and the faith to amaze yourself at what you can do. And lastly, footprints. When it says, "Dear Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. Why is it during my most troublesome times that I look back and see only one set of footprints?" And the Lord replied, "My precious child, I would never leave you during your times of trial and suffering. When you looked back and saw one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you." God's walking with you. And when you need him the most, he'll be there to carry you. Do what you can for yourself. Do it in his name. But know that he's there for you when you need him. But most importantly, I'm just here as an example of what this institution did for me and what it has done for you. And I just want to say good luck, because you're going to get it done and you're going to be okay. Congratulations. God bless you, and thank you.